Good morning, everyone. Before I even write a single word on the board, I want you to close your eyes for 10 seconds and think of one organization you admire. Could be Infosys, could be Google, could be a hospital you have been to, or even a small family business you respect. Got it? Now open your eyes. So here is my question. What made that organization what it is today? Some of you will say technology, some of you will say leadership, and some might say products. And you are not wrong. All of those matters. But I will tell you what sits underneath all of those things is the people. And every leader, every engineer, every salesperson, every analyst in that organization at some point had to be found, invited, and brought in through a door. That door has a name, and today we are going to study that door in great detail. That door is called recruitment. So this lecture is about recruitment and the introduction to the recruitment. This lecture is going to be helpful for all the students of MBA and BBA. As we all know that recruitment is a part of human resource management, and it's a very important discipline of human resource management. So let's start with our lecture. So we are going to cover these following topics today. First one is introduction and why recruitment matters. Second one, meaning and key definition given by scientists. Features and characteristics of recruitment, objectives and importance, factors affecting recruitment, modern trends and real world examples, and quick revision and exam tips. So these all are the topics that we are going to cover today. Now the introduction part cover every organization needs the right people to run its operations, and recruitment is the first step in the staffing process. Acts as the gateway through which talent enters an organization, and without effective recruitment, even the best selection procedure will fail. You cannot choose well from a pool of candidates. So look at the number that is given in the box. Average cost of a bad hire, and this data is given by AIHR. So it's roughly around 14 to 15 lakhs. It means that imagine a company like TCS or SCL, which hires thousands of people every year. And even if even a small percentage of those hires are bad hires, what does that cost look like? So we are talking here about crores of rupees in losses, in rehiring, in training wasted, in productivity lost. Because if we hire a people, if we hire a person who is not a great fit for the organization, so in that sense, we are not just there is not just rehiring a cost, there is also cost of training that employee and productivity lost. So we are going to we are going to lose a lot some amount of money if we are hiring a n- not not good fit for the organization. So there recruitment comes, and that's why recruitment is also called as a strategic business decision. So recruitment is also considered as a process, as a strategic process for the organization, because it's not a short term process, it's a long term process. If you are not hiring a person for a short term goal, you are hiring for a long term association. Let me use a simple metaphor. Think of any famous temple in India and say the Tirupati temple. Thousands of devotees come every day, but before they enter there, they go through a very structured process. Security checks, token systems, queues, entry points. Now, what if the entry system was chaotic? What if anyone and everyone just rushed in? The experience inside would be completely disrupted. So, recruitment is that entry system for an organization. It is the gateway through which talent enters. And if that gateway is poorly designed, wrong people come in and right people go elsewhere. And every function downstream suffers. So, I said it's a positive process. So, what do I mean by that? It means that recruitment is about inviting, attracting, encouraging people to come in. It is not about rejecting. That comes later in selection part. So, this distinction is very important for exams that we are going to discuss later. Recruitment does not happen in isolation. It begins when HR planning says we need 50 new marketing executives by December or 3 senior managers are retiring next year. So that gap, the gap between what we have and what we need is what triggers recruitment. So recruitment is the bridge between HR planning and actual selection. So you will see this linkage coming up on your slide. Now, Now we will see at the definition given by the scientist. According to Edwin B. Filippo, recruitment is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. And according to Del Yoder, recruitment is a process to discover the sources of manpower to meet the requirement of the staffing schedule and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in adequate numbers to facilitate effective selection of an efficient working force. So here what we see that Filippo used two keywords, that is searching and stimulating. Searching means you are going out and looking. This is an active outward effort. You are not just sitting in the office waiting for CVs to pour in and recruitment requires effort. Stimulating means generating enthusiasm, excitement, motivation to apply. Think of how ITC or Asian Paints creates very engaging job advertisements that make even someone who wasn't looking to switch think twice. So that is called stimulation. So these two words are very important in recruitment process. What is that? That is stimulating and searching for the right people for the organization. Now we will come to the daily order definition. That is, his definition is longer, more operational. So, recruitment is a process to discover the sources of manpower, to meet the requirement of the staffing schedule, and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in adequate numbers to facilitate effective selection of an efficient working force. Let me break it down into three parts. Part one is discover sources of manpower. What does that mean? This means that identifying where the talent come from. So it could be colleges, job portals, competitors, internal promotions. So this could be the sources of identification. Part 2 is meet the requirement of the staffing schedule. This ties recruitment directly to planning. How many people, by when, what skills. So this is a quantitative dimension. Part 3 is facilitate effective selection. Notice this. Yoder is saying recruitment's ultimate purpose is to make selection easier. You build the pool, selection does the filtering, beautiful linkage. So Filippo focuses on the ACT of the recruitment, searching, stimulating, and applying. Now we will see the key concept and the terminology. Key term is prospective employees that I have already discussed, that people who could potentially work for the organization not yet hired. Stimulating means encouraging and motivating candidates to apply, making the job attractive. Talent pool means collection of qualified applicants gathered through recruitment. And what comes next? Job specification. It means that skills and qualification of the people they are going to apply. And what are the skills that are needed for doing that job, and what are the qualification that is required, and what are the traits that are required, that come under the job specification. Now the planning. Manpower planning means forecasting that how many people are required for that job and what type of employees are needed. So that is called manpower planning. Positive process. It means that recruitment just invite people. There is no rejection in that process. Now we will see the features and the characteristics of recruitment. Recruitment is positive in nature. It means that we encourage applicants to apply for the job. Like we post our job on the job portal so that the it can be visible to all prospective candidates, and they can apply for that job. So you will collect a recruitment from everywhere. You will not People are not rejected at that level. So that is why it is positive in nature, because there is no exclusion, there is only the inclusion of the participants. So that's why it is one of the important characteristics of recruitment, that it is a positive process. It's a two-way process means what? It means that candidates also require job, and your organization require candidates for that job. So it's a two-way process. Organization seeks talent and the talent seeks opportunity. So they both complement each other. Like if an like for an example, if you take a candidate who is just graduating from an engineering college, so what he or she needs? He needs a job, right? And what the companies, IT companies, what they need an engineer. So in that case, they both are requirement for each other. So it's a two-way process. It's never a one-way process. The third one is precedes selection. It means that creates the pool from which selection is made. Like as I already discussed, that recruitment is a process where we collect the we collect the resume from different sources, but at the selection process we choose only the efficient candidates from that pool. So that's why it precedes the selection. Now, the source dependent. What is source dependent? Source dependent means quality depends heavily on which sources are used. We all know that there are different sources of different sources from where we source candidates. So it could be like from college placement, from the job portals, from newspaper advertisements, and sometimes it's a internal source. So these are the sources. So the recruitment depends on that sources. We get the data, we get the applicants from that sources. That's why it is called that. It depends on sources we are used. Now, continuous activity. What is this continuous activity? Organization recruits regularly to replace and fill new roles. It means that it doesn't happen that if you have selected 1,000 of employees, and they will remain for that for longer time, because Sometimes they leave the organization. There are people who are retiring from that from the post. There are people who are leaving the organization. So it's a continuous process. You also have to keep few people in spare that you could use in that in at the time when some people leave the organization suddenly. So you have to create a pool of talent. So it's a continuous process, because organization is not just about the 10 people or the 20 people. It's about thousand of people are working there. So some people are leaving, some people are coming in. So it's a continuous process, and they have to recruit regularly to replace and fill new roles. And now the link to HR planning. It means that HR manpower planning is very important uh, for recruitment purpose, because you cannot just go into the market and get some candidate. You have to make proper planning for this, that you have to set objectives for that. You have to decide on the, like, from where you get the candidate. You have to make the job description. You have to decide the job specification. You have to do the job analysis part. So these all are the parts that you are going to do while doing the manpower planning. So it is related to the manpower planning. Now the art and science both, because recruitment requires both analytical skills and the people skills, that you have to calculate that how many people are required, and what is the sales target, what is the company's target. According to that, you are going to recruit. So this also requires analytical skills and the people skills, that like job preparation of job specification, job description. So these is also a art. Legal and ethical, it means that you have different terms and condition. You have to follow, every organization needs to follow certain rules and the laws by the government. You cannot go against that legal things. So you have to comply with that. So these all are the terms that is very important part of recruitment. What are those? Positive, it is positive in nature. It's a two-way process. Receipt selections. It's a source dependent, continuous activity linked to HR planning, art and science both, and legal and ethical. Now we'll go to the next slide. Objectives of recruitment. What are the why we do the it means that why we do the recruitment, why it is considered a process, and why recruitment is considered a important crucial part of any HR planning. Because through this we build a large pool of qualified candidates for open positions. We get the applicants who are attracted towards company and who closely match the job specification. We also company also encourage talented individuals, even the passive job seekers, to consider the organization. If passive job seekers means people who are not actively looking for the job, but who can who can be like encouraged to get that job if that company is very reputable, if that person is getting the good salary. So these all are the things that even the passive job seekers can be attractive to that position. So it encourages talented individuals. Reduce time and cost involved in filling vacancies. Right. It means that if you have a proper planning, if you have a proper process, so this will also reduce time and the cost involved in filling vacancy. Suddenly you cannot just do this recruitment, just go and get the candidates, do this HR planning. You need a proper planning for that. So this will also reduce cost. For example, suddenly you have hired like 10 employees for a role. This will cost a huge amount to the company. And what if the hired person are not a good fit for the organization? So in that case, you are going to lose a lot of money in that. So this can't be cost effective in that way. So cost, because costs are also involved. If you hired a person, if you are going to hire a person, you need to do proper resume screening, interview, then giving training to that employee, doing the placement activity. So everything needs cost. So if you hire a single person, it incurs a huge cost. So you need to be proper. You need to have a proper planning for doing that. This also reduce time. And next is comply with the legal requirements and the organizational diversity goals. It means that I have already discussed that there are certain laws in the country, there are certain requirement by the government. You need to comply with that requirements. And you also have to follow the organizational diversity goals, because in the current situation, organization need to maintain the diversity, because if the organization are not restricted to just one country, it is open to the open to all countries. If a job is posted on the portal, it is visible to every person, not a person. If like a job is posted in India, it's not like only the Indian people can see that job. The other countries people can also see that job and can also apply for that job. So in that sense, maintaining a diversity is very important. Then only you can have innovation, you can have a creativity at the organization. So this is the requirement of recruitment. Project a positive employer brand in the labor market. Think about a company who has a bad reputation in the market. So will people come to that company for working? No. You need to have a good employer brand. Like for example, take Apple. It has a good employer brand. So big brand. It's a good brand. It's a it has a big reputation in the market, so everybody wants to work for that company. Perks are also very good there. They give good salary to the employees. So these all are the things that contribute to the labor market, that contribute to making a employer a good brand. So you need to project your company as a positive brand in the labor market. So these all are the objectives of recruitment. Through the recruitment process, we are going to achieve all this, like for example, build a large pool of qualified candidates. And for open position, if you will have a large pool of qualified candidates, from that you are going to select few candidates that is best for the organization. Attract applicants who closely match the job specification. You need to get these applicants to apply for the job. Then only you can get the good you then only you that can match the job specification. Encourage talent individuals, reduce time and cost, comply with legal requirements, and the project a positive employer brand in the labor market. So these are the objectives of recruitment. Now the recruitment process. Obviously, if it is your recruitment has a process. First one is HR planning, job analysis, identify sources, attract candidates, receive applications, and screen a shortlist. So these six are the steps that is involved in the recruitment process. Why recruitment is the foundation of HRM? Like all downstream HR functions depend on quality recruitment. Research links quality hiring with higher productivity and lower turnover. In knowledge driven industries, talent is the competitive advantage. So, as we discussed that recruitment process, first we do the HR planning, right? Then we do the job analysis. HR planning is done. HR planning, like how we are going to make this job description part, job specification. We're going to job analysis when these people are required for that organization. They all come under the HR planning part. Job analysis means getting the worth of the job. According to that, you are going to decide the salary of the job, the perks for that post. Identify sources, like where you are going to recruit people from, like from college campus, from like internal sources. So there are different sources. From there you recruit the candidates. It's internal sources and external sources. What could be the internal sources, like the existing employees, and what could be the external sources? External sources could be the college campus and the people who are posting their requirement on the portals like Naukri.com, Monster.com, LinkedIn. So these are the sources of getting the uh, people for the job. Attract candidates. It also means that you need to post like attractive job description for that job. Then only the qualified candidates will come to that job. Receive application, then you will get all the applications like resume, then you will receive the application, then screen and shortlist. So these are the process that include in the recruitment. Why recruitment is the foundation of HR? Because everything depends on the how quality recruitment you have done, how quality people you have in the organization. It depends, even the organization productivity, profit, everything depends on the quality of people you have hired for the job. Because it links with the quality hiring with higher productivity and lower turnover. If you will have the qualified candidates, then only you will have the higher productivity on the organization, and this will also lower the turnover rate. It means that people leaving the organization. In law knowledge driven industries, talent is the competitive advantage. We are in the current scenario where competition is very high. There is huge competition in the market, so you need to have people who are knowledgeable, who have different skills. Then only your company will have the competitive advantage over the other company, and your company will run for the longer time. So this is the foundation of HRM, and the process is HR planning, job analysis, and identify sources, attract candidates, receive application and screen and shortlist. So these all six are the process. Now we will go to the another part, that is factors affecting recruitments. There are two factors, internal factors and external factors. Internal factors are organization size, HR policies, growth plans, salary structure, and work culture. Organization size means you need to also take into consideration that what is your company size. If it's a larger firms, then you will need to have a dedicated HR teams for this process. And if you are a company, a small company, like for startups, you can have a few people who work as an HR. So you need to decide that what is the size of your organization. So according to that, they will work for this recruitment process. So if it's a larger firms, then you need to have a proper structured recruitment process, team for that. Then only you can then only this process can go smoothly. Now the second thing is HR policies, promotion from within versus external hiring policies. It means that what policies you have, according to that you are going to decide what kind of candidate required for that post. So growth plans, expansions into new markets, drives bulk hiring. If your company is expanding, like you are opening the other branch of your company, it means that in that case you need a bulk hiring. So for that you need to have a proper recruitment process for that hiring purpose. So also you like sometime it happens that you are only looking for a few posts just for a single or like two or three like post, then only in that sense their recruitment strategy will be different. But if you are expanding in the market and you are going for the bulk hiring, in that case you will have a structured hiring process. So it depends on the growth plans of the organization. Salary structure, competitive pay tracks better. If you have the competitive pay, it means that you are going good, getting giving good salary with the good perks and the good fringe benefits, other benefits, that it also helps in attracting the better candidates. You will get the good candidates for that. So salary structure also no, impact the recruitment process. Work culture, if like for a company which has a good brand value in the market, so in that case it will attract the good candidates. So work culture, it depends on your on the work culture of the company. Like positive work culture reduces attrition. If you have a good culture, positive culture in your organization, people will not leave your organization, they will sustain for the longer time. So in that case you will have different fewer vacancies to fill. But in the but when your work culture of your company is bad, it's not it's a very negative, it in that case the attrition rate is very high. And in that case you need to fill a bulk amount of vacancy. So these are the factors that are considered internal factors and that impact the recruitment process. What are these? Organization size, HR policies, growth plans, salary structure, and the work culture. Now we will see that what are the external factors that affect the recruitment. First is labor market condition, unemployment rate, competition, legal framework, and geography. Labor market condition means tight job market, harder to recruit, surplus means easier. When labor market condition is positive, it it so in that case that it is harder to recruit because there are only few vacancies are there, and you need to fill only a few posts. So in that case it impacts the recruitment process. Surplus means easier when company is getting good profit, they are in good condition. So in that case you will hire a and company is getting surpluses. So in that case you are going to hire a lot of candidates, so it's easier to find the candidates. So this labor market condition also impact the recruitment process. Unemployment rate, high employment means more applicants per vacancy. If there is very few jobs are available in the market, unemployment rate is very high in the country, so it means that there will be more applicants, means that there will be more people who are unemployed. So per vacancy there will be more number of people. So in that case it also impacts the recruitment process because you will have to check minutely in that case because you will have more applicants for that one job. So now the competition, rival firms offering better packages affect talent supply. So when competition is very high, the companies are offering the good salary package. Some they have better packages, so it's also affect the supply. Legal framework, Factories Act, SC/ST reservation, equal opportunity norms. So I've already discussed that the company needs to follow all the legal requirement for that company, because you cannot go against the law. So there are the different acts like Factories Act, reservation, equal opportunity norms. So the company needs to follow all these norms, and they need to recruit according to that. Geography, rural versus urban talent availability often differs significantly. When you are recruiting people from the rural area, that will be different, and you are when you are recruiting people from the urban talent, so there will be different kind of availability. So this also depends on that. Now the advantages and limitation of recruitment. What are the advantages and what are the limitation? Advantages means provides a large qualified talent for selection. It means that if you have proper planning, it provides you large qualified people for selection, because you will get a resume from everywhere, from every sources. So then in that case you will have a large number of people. So in that case your quality will be maintained, you will have good quality of candidates. So this is one of the advantage of the recruitment. Reduces time to hire by proactively sourcing candidates. It means that if you are proactively doing this recruitment path, it means that it also reduces time to hire. It will not take too much time to hire people if you are proactively doing this. Enhances organizational reputation as preferred employer. Lowers long-term cost by reducing turnover from bad hires. If you will have the proper planning, that it will save you from the bad hired. So this will also save you from going to loss, and this will also lower long term cost. Because if you have hired people who are leaving constantly continuously, it means that you will incur a huge amount of cost. So if you have a proper planning, it will reduce the turnover cost and from save you from the bad hires. Supports workforce diversity and inclusion goals. If you will have the proper planning, like you know that you need to maintain diversity in the organization, you need people from different parts of the country, maybe from across the globe. So in that case the diversity will be maintained in the organization. You will have people who from different perspective, who give the different perspective, who will have the different who will contribute to the creativity and or innovation of the organization. And it will also achieve the inclusion goals. Inclusion is also has become the important goal of any organization, that you have to include people from the different strata of the society, from the different religion, from the different caste, from the different status, social status, economic status. So this will also achieve the inclusion goals. So this is one of the important advantages of the recruitment. Ensures alignment between talent and business strategy. Uh, as I already told you that recruitment is not just a process, it's a strategic process, it's a long-term goal. So it will align the talent and the business strategy. It ensures that there is alignment between talent and people who are selected, who are hired. They are also taking in mind that you have to achieve the certain goals that is linked to the organization. So it ensures the alignment between talent and business strategy. Now we have already discussed the advantages. We'll go through the limitations, because everything has pros and cons, and recruitment also has that it is expensive, because it's a proper planning. You need to have a proper plan in setup. So this will cost a huge amount of money. So in that case it is expensive. And if done through external agencies or mass advertising, you have to do the advertising, you have to do the marketing part, you also have to consult with some consultancy, HR consultancy. So in that sense you will have to incur a lot amount of money. So in that sense it is going to be expensive. Obviously it's a time consuming task, because if you are doing a proper planning, that in that case you need to dedicate a proper time for this. And especially for the senior and specialized roles, if you are doing the successive plannings, you need to have a proper you need to expend a proper time for that. So it's also time consuming. May attract unqualified candidates if JDs are poorly read. If job description are not written properly, it may attract the unqualified candidates. So there are also chances that if your process is not effective, if JDs are not written properly, so it may also attract unqualified candidates, and that will not be fit for the organization. In that case, you will incur a huge amount of loss. Candidate to vacancy ratio can reach 1 to 100. Processing is also processing burden. Biases in recruitment can lead to discriminative hiring. There are also biases, that too, by in current scenario where recruitment is done through AI, so there are high chances of being the biases in recruitment, because they are being run on the historical data, and there are biases in the previous recruitment in the company. So that will also lead to the discriminatory hiring. No guarantee recruited candidates will accept offer or perform well. Think about that. You have already incurred a amount of money, that you have hired the people, you have trained them, you have placed them. But after that, what if that candidate has left that job? So we are not sure about that candidate will offer or perform well. So there is no guarantee for that. So these all are the limitation of the recruitment process. Now we will take the real world example. This is campus recruitment drive that is happening in Infosys India. They have conducted a mass drives across all IITs, NITs, and deemed university, highest 1,000 graduates in one recruitment cycles, process online tests, group discussions, HR interview, textbook example of organized large-scale recruitment, demonstrates a structured process. So this is the example of recruitment. What is done in the campus recruitment? You conduct a mass drive across different colleges, different universities. There you conduct interviews and you hire lot thousands of graduate in one recruitment cycle. And what is that process? What is that process? That includes, first you take the online test, then GD happens, then HR interview. So this is the process that is done in the uh, campus recruitment. So this is your example of recruitment. Now, modern trends in recruitment. First is AI powered. Like there are different tools like higher value, screen CVs, and conduct AI video interviews. So this is the modern trend in recruitment. That recruitment is done through different AI apps. Their resume, they screen out the resume, then they also conduct AI interviews. So these all are done through the artificial intelligence. Mobile first, job posting optimized for smartphones, wider audience reach. So we know that every people has a smartphone, so through that job posting is also done for the smartphones also. So that in that sense they could reach a wider audience. So it is also mobiles. Mobile first is also a trend in recruitment. Data driven hiring. It means that metrics, time to fill, cost per hire, quality of hire, guide decisions. So everything is done through the data. You already have a ready-made data. Through that you do the recruitment process. So this depends on that. Social media posts. We all know that LinkedIn, Naukri, Shine, these all are the India's leading digital recruitment platforms where where the company posts their job and the candidate also has that access, and they hide through that only. They also apply through these social media websites. Now the employer branding. Companies invest in Glassdoor profiles and social media to attract passive talent. It means that when you are going for, like, if you are going for a company for the interview, you also check the profiles of that company on these sites. So employer brand is built on that site also. So employer branding is modern trends in recruitment. Diversity hiring. Diversity hiring means recruitment for women, differently able and marginalized groups. People who were previously who were not a part of that employment, the government has made it mandatory to include them as a part of their as a part of workforce team. So company also need to take into consideration that they have to recruit a women candidate. They also have to remove people from differently able people and people from the marginalized groups. So these all are the modern trends in recruitment. So while doing the recruitment process, you need to take this into mind, that it should be data driven, mobile first, AI, social media, employer branding, and diversity hiring. So this is for your exam purpose. Like what could be asked from this portion? Like define recruitment with two scholar definitions that I have already discussed. Distinguish between recruitment versus selection. So in the next lecture, we are going to discuss the what is recruitment and what is selection and what is the difference between these two. So this could be asked for 5 mark questions. List and explain at least 6 features of recruitment. I have already discussed why recruitment is called a positive process. Discuss one modern trend in recruitment. So these all are the questions that can be asked in exam purpose. Now, this is for the quick revision. See that you need if you need to revise in one, like what is recruitment, Lipper definition, orders definition, nature, key objectives, India challenges, modern tools, precedes strategic view. These all are the topics that we have discussed today in this lecture. So this is for the quick revision sheet. Now we are going to end this lecture by saying that recruitment is not just about filling vacancies, it is about building the future workforce of the organization. So thank you for attending this lecture. Next lecture, we are going to discuss the other features and the other part of recruitment. Thank you so much. Now we are going to